Yes, what's up, people? Changed up the scene a bit today, wearing my hat and my glasses, and I want to talk about the fact that 10%, the top 10% of men are getting about 80% of the women's attention of all the survey of women. They're getting 80% of them. So the bottom 20% of women, basically the 90% of men are left with the scraps, as horrible as that sounds, right? And this is actually based on dating site research on the matches mainly. It's all about, they work out the data based on the matches, but the top 10% of men, best looking men, or the best profiles, the ones that look the coolest, the ones with the coolest jobs, ultimately it's the best looking, let's be honest. With online dating specifically, it's your looks and it's the pictures that you post that are gonna matter the most, right? So that's the number one. So top 10% of men are getting all the attention of 80% of the women, which is mad, which means the rest of us, well, not us, but the rest of you, potentially, that 90% is struggling in the dating market. Big time. Big time. That has catastrophic consequences. I got in the taxi recently, and I think I mentioned this in a video before, a taxi, and the guy said, yeah, I watch porn, I've given up on women. Dude, I was shocked, man. Absolutely shocked when I heard that. So, basically, let me try and give you some tips as to how to turn this around in your favor. Now, I'm definitely in the top 10%, if not top 1% of men, either online or generally, because I've had options my whole life, so I've been lucky enough for that. But there's a few reasons for that. So, and the few reasons I'm able to help you because of those things, and because I've had them for so long and had to build those traits over time as well, and it comes more natural to me. So I've been doing it for so long that I can just tell you. But ultimately, for the 90% of men that are struggling, there are things you could do to improve your chances. Some people are just not that good looking. That's just how it goes. There's a black pill community online which basically says tall, handsome, ripped, rich, that's it, it's game over. That guy's gonna beat you all day long. And to be honest, 8-9 times out of 10, that is the case. Like, the guy is gonna beat you. And you're competing against someone who has higher social status than you. And women are, they're hypergamists. So they're looking always to date upwards in socio-economic status. So, they want the man to be doing well. The women want to keep improving. It's part of biology. It's like, they need their offspring looked after by the right male, the right protector. So tall, strong, all these biological features and traits make it, these things are imprinted in us as human beings. So you can't help it, guys. You can't help the black pill community. You can't help understand the black pill community. I have to understand the black pill community myself. But personally, I'm a red pill guy and always have been, and I really do believe in that. I believe that you can improve. So here are a few things you could do. The first thing you could do is hit the gym, get in good shape. That's the first thing you could do. Getting in good shape is the number one way to attract people of the opposite sex. The second thing to do, if you don't have a great career and a lot of money, is to rebrand what you do. Make yourself seem a bit cooler. You don't need that much money to be this guy. You can have a cool job, but just the way that you describe your job makes a big difference on your social status and how people perceive you. You know what I mean? So describe yourself a bit more cooler with an edge. Not just like, oh yeah, I work for a media agency. Just be like, oh yeah, I'm hopefully creating this new wave of supplements for the male industry. I've like this new wave which is, it's like it increases your testosterone but it doesn't have any side effects, and I'm helping the influencers drive that into society. Bang, imagine you just said that to someone, they'd be like, oh whoa, that's interesting. Whatever it is, something that's interesting and that blows them away. So rebrand yourself in an interesting way no matter what your career is. So hitting the gym, being cool, the way you rebrand yourself, and wearing the right clothes and having the right style is so important. Those are 3 really big factors you can start with today. Get rid of the crappy clothes that you got. Men just don't have style these days, man. Like, no one's got style. It looks so terrible with the t-shirts you're wearing, the shorts you're wearing. I don't know what you guys are wearing, but seriously, you need to look at yourselves in the mirror and look a bit more fashionable and cool. Keep things a bit more simple. If you want to be more flamboyant, great. But you got to be flamboyant with style. You know, cool hats or cool glasses are still in fashion. These things might work on you. You know, try like, you know, if you got like a nice upper chest, you try like a V-neck where people can see that you work out, and like a nice, something that means something to you on your neck. You know, a lot of girls are always like, oh, what's that on your neck? And you know, so like, you know, like what I'm doing tonight, for example, this is peacocking, where you're walking around with a cool hat and cool glasses and you look different. You're like center of attention. Some people might have to do that, you know. At least have a cool style if you're gonna have it. So work out, hit the gym, make your career sound more interesting, whatever you're doing, and do something more interesting ultimately, because being more interesting is what makes you, you know, lovable around other people. Girls like you, guys like you. And thirdly, like I said, have some style, dress well. That's what you need to do. Those are the basics. We can sit here and talk all day, but I know people are not going to change drastically. That's the problem. I know you're not going to suddenly go from someone who doesn't get girls to suddenly someone who gets girls. It doesn't shift overnight like that. Your confidence will just not change like that. This has taken me a long time to develop, a very long time to develop. So I want to keep this video particularly short, but I hope those 3 are going to help you. And I hope you're now thinking like, yo, you need to get in that top 10% of men, because those top 10% are cleaning up and you're missing out. 90% of men are getting nothing. And that's why you're getting men committing suicides, 2nd biggest killer of men in Europe. It's crazy, some of the stats. Men are depressed. You guys are playing video games. They're not out there talking to girls. They're not getting laid. It's a wild world that we live in. They're losing on dating apps. You got to get out there and take what you want. I wasn't necessarily a good looking kid, but I went out there and took what I could. I got in good shape. I look like this. I got money. I travel the world. I do what the hell I want to do. I've got style. You can do the same thing. All right? So I hope you learned something from this one. I'm going to keep these videos coming. Tomorrow, maybe a different style. You can change it up yourself. Peace, guys.